3, 2, 1. Here we go, micro students. Let's go. Time to rock. I did a real quick, what I'm doing right now is a real quick pep talk, get you up and running. You got the test tomorrow. For some of you guys, it's like in a few hours if you're on the other side of the world. But right now, hey, it's time to get ready for the micro test. I did one of these for the macro 2 days ago. I hope you did great on the macro test if you're taking both classes. Seriously, I hope you guys did phenomenal. I'm going to tell you a few things to remind about the test, get you up and running. Some people in the comments on the macro when I did were like, he looks like he's sad, because I was being like all melodramatic and being like all serious, like you're going to kick the crap out of this test. And I was just trying to play the game of the melodramatic coach. Right now I'm coming out strong and excited because I know you are. And more importantly, for many of you, because if you're a senior, and you're in high school senior, this is like your last AP test of all time. Hey, do me a favor real quick. Right now in the comments, let me know what city and state or country you are from so I can give you a shout out. So here we go. We're jumping into microeconomics. If you've never been to one of my review sessions, you're missing out. I'm only going to be talking for maybe 10 minutes right now. Really quickly, though, I wanted to hear where you guys are from so I can give you a shout out. I can't do everyone, but I want to make sure you get a little bit of shout out and some appreciation for what you guys have. I've also been watching the comments and seeing what you guys have been saying. Some people say they're like really scared. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I don't know if I can do it. You're going to be able to do it. All right, Edison, New Jersey. We've got Toledo. We have got Seattle, Washington, Chicago. I love Chicago. Detroit, Toronto. Good job, Canadians. Dallas, Texas. Philly, New Jersey, Flanders, Florida. They're coming in so fast. Phoenix, they're going so fast. Some Florida folks. Awesome. Glad you're here. Albany, New York, Washington, D.C. We see Charlotte, North Carolina. First of all, thank you guys all for, oh my God, this is awesome. I'm so glad that you are here. All right, really quick, let's talk about this AP test. Let me go over to graph mode. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Graph mode is right here. All right, you know this. The AP test is extremely predictable. It asks the same questions every single year. You guys are still telling me Michigan, Phoenix, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Boston. I have to stay at Spain. I should probably Los Angeles, Vancouver. All right, I'm done. Let's jump into this. Okay, here we go. The AP Econ test, the micro test, is very predictable on the free response. It always asks you one of 3 things. And the 2, really 2, but one every once in a while. They're going to ask you to draw perfect competition side-by-side graphs. They've never given it to you, but they could, but they won't. It's going to be draw side-by-side graphs or draw monopoly, or they'll give you a monopoly and you have to analyze it, or monopolistic competition they've asked a few times. Make sure you can draw those graphs. Really quickly, let me go over a few of these things. You already know this stuff. We're not reviewing. We're just throwing these things back in your brain and telling you what my predictions are. I think what you're going to be getting on that test is side-by-side graphs of a market and a firm in perfect competition in the product market, and you have to be able to draw either profit or loss or breaking even. And then I think what they're going to do, here's my guess. I think they're going to ask you to draw profit, draw perfect competition, long run in drawing a profit, and then something about per unit or a lump sum tax or subsidy, and then what's going to happen in the long run. How does it adjust to the long run? That's what I think. So make sure you know that graph. Make sure you understand they have both efficiencies. Perfect competition is the only one that has allocative and productive efficiency. Allocative is producing where the marginal cost hits the demand curve, and productive efficiency is producing at a minimum ATC. Right there, that is perfect competition in the product market. You got it. A monopoly graph looks like that. You know what a monopoly looks like. This is monopoly making a profit. This is the long run. It's the short, and it's the same because firms can't enter. Make sure you know that box of profit is right there. A lot of times they'll ask this graph in a free response. They'll also do it in a multiple choice. So you're going to be asked that graph. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see that graph in the test tomorrow. I guarantee you 100%. Monopolist. Now also there's some details there. Remember the elastic, inelastic range. Elastic is when the MR is positive, and then past that, this is the inelastic range. Remember that concept. Also understand the idea of they could regulate this and do it at socially optimal. Right here, there'd be no deadweight loss because the marginal cost hits demand. That's allocative efficiency. Again, I don't want to reteach you. I just want to help you remember the details. So monopoly graph, you got this, dude. You got the monopoly graph. Here's monopolist competition. One small detail. Make sure you don't draw that ATC down here and then through. It's obviously got to be at this point because they're making no economic profit. They're breaking even. But make sure you don't draw it where that ATC, don't worry, it'll be up and running. Make sure you don't draw it where that ATC is below the demand curve, because then you're saying there's some area where they're making profit or could make profit. So it's got to stay above, ATC stays above the demand, hits tangent right there, not right there, no, right here, down till it hits MC, and then goes back up. That's the graph from an ops competition. You are going to be asked, listen to my words right now, you are going to be asked one of the three graphs on the first response. I promise you, every single time it's always the same. You're going to be asked probably one of these three graphs, and the other three responses, and then some other sort of skill. I think what they're going to ask you tomorrow on the test is going to, by the way, I want to point out, some people told me like, oh no, you were off on your macro predictions. Keep in mind, there's several tests. So the same school, like my school used to get 2 different tests for the same students. So you're going to see that. I think what's going to be a supply and demand, ask you maybe calculate consumer and producer surplus, maybe showing the idea of dead weight loss or elasticity. So this is, if you don't remember this is my first review session. This is a piece of something I did in the first review session I did about 2 weeks ago or so. Make sure you can calculate the area of a consumer surplus. I mean, you understand the idea, difference between what you want to pay and what you did pay, but be able to calculate that. So if this was 30 and this is 10, so the price is 10 and the quantity, let's just say is 10, this would be 30 minus 10, so that's 20 over here, times 10, that's 200, cut that in half, right? So it's the area of a triangle. So this would be 100 consumer surplus is that triangle. Make sure you can do that skill. If you have no idea what I'm talking right now, then just go back and relearn that skill. Also understand the idea that with ceilings and floors, they both cause dead weight loss and they both cause quantity to decrease. The only thing the major change is the difference in the consumer and producer surplus. By the way, like I said, I went over these. This is not something I'm doing right now. This is something that I did in my first review session. Also understand the idea of trade, which looks like this. I think the second response will have something to do with supply and demand and elasticity. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it's going to be this year. And then I think the third response, by the way, is going to be something that has to do with perfect competition and hiring workers, the idea of MRP and MRC. Let me go back. That graph right there, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think they're going to ask you the graph. I think what they're going to do is they're going to have you do the chart. So I had you do that in the first live review session. If you haven't seen that, take a look at it. It's on my YouTube channel. The second one is in the Ultimate Review Packet. So the live review session I did, the second one is in the Ultimate Review Packet. Anyways, I think they're going to have you use the MRP equals MRC rule for hiring workers, except not for the graph. I think it's going to be for the chart. I don't know, though. It could be, it couldn't be. That's the idea. There's no box of profit here. Make sure you know that graph. And, of course, make sure you can draw a negative and a positive externality. Understand the idea of dead weight loss. If society is producing this, dead weight loss is over on this side. There it is. And if society is producing this, and society wants this. This is what they're producing, right? So we are overproducing if there's a negative externality. And then a positive externality, society wants this, socially optimal, but we're producing this. And so dead weight loss is facing the other direction. I've gone over this in details. I'm probably teaching you too much. I should be focusing on just hyping you up and getting you ready. So let me do that. You're ready. You're ready. This is your last AP test for many of you, and you've worked your tail off. Make sure you can do the calculations for marginal cost, average total cost, average variable cost. Make sure you understand the calculation for elasticity, percent change in quantity divided by the percent change in price. So understand that equation and how to use it. Understand the idea that when the absolute value of this is less than 1, it's relatively inelastic, and when it's 1, it's uninelastic, and you get that concept. The truth is this. Okay, let me get back to regular mode here. The truth is, you're ready. I could talk all day long and do another review session, but the truth is, when I was looking at your comments, a lot of you guys are like, oh, I'm not sure about the Gini coefficient. I'm sure about the Lorenz curve. Dude, that's all tiny little detail stuff. Oh, I don't know about the kink demand curve. That is not going to be the vast majority of the AP test. The AP test asks the same concepts over and over again. So make sure you've done them. Make sure if you haven't already done so, do some practice multiple choice questions. There's some in the Ultimate Review Packet. There's also other ones your teacher gave you. Doing multiple choice questions is a great way to solidify your knowledge and your understanding. I got to wind down here, and I got to tell you guys, seriously, it has been a pleasure working with you. I see you guys leaving me comments inside the comment section. I appreciate it. You guys just rock. It's been awesome being your online teacher. I said this in the macro pep talk. It's never, if you look on Twitter, all these people are saying these nice, cool things about me. Oh, Mr. Clifford carried me, and Mr. Clifford did this, and Mr. Clifford did that. Listen, it's not about me. It's never been about me. It's never been about your teacher. It's never been about economics. It's always been about you and your ability to execute and learn stuff. You have worked your tail off. You've gotten to this point. It's now time to execute. Tomorrow, they're going to hand you this big, giant booklet of your test. They're going to plop it right on your desk. The energy that you put in, you'll know if you put the kind of energy you needed to get that test up and running and get a 3, just to pass it, or to get a 5, that they're going to put it in front of you. You're going to know. For those of you who know you haven't done it quite enough quite yet, take a look. You're going to binge watch a lot of my videos. Every one of you should definitely watch the micro everything you need to know video. It covers all 6 units in I think it's a half-hour long video. So watch that one on your phones right before they ask for your phone, and then you turn your phone in. But seriously, you guys are ready. You're ready for this. All these people are saying thank you, and they're saying thanks, love you, daddy, and weird stuff like that. Like I said, it has been a pleasure. Do me a favor, give your teacher a hug, or at least a high five, or a round of applause for working and helping you guys out. But it's been great being your online teacher and helping you guys out. So seriously, all the praise and the thank yous have been a great way to say thank you to me, and I appreciate it. Those of you guys got the ultimate review packet. That's awesome. I'm blushing. I am totally awed by all these things, and you guys are awesome. And just like I said in the last session, I said this at the very end. I'll say it with you guys for the last time. Until next time. Good luck, okay? Good luck on the IP test. Until next time.
Dad.
Yes.
Sophia's really cold. She's not really good in coldness.